And if you interrupt me one more time, you're going to go do it from the other courtroom.
Because so you're holding me in contempt?
All right, don't interrupt me again. Don't roll your eyes at me. Don't sigh at me. You have delayed these proceedings now by 15 minutes because of your...
A tense day in the courtroom in the Waukesha Parade attack trial. Darrell Brooks arguing with the judge throughout the day, at one point staring her down.
All right, I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared. And we're taking a break.
The judge returned about 25 minutes later. Joining us tonight to discuss today's developments, attorney Craig Mastantuono from the Mastantuono Coffee and Thomas Law Firm. Craig, clearly a lot of fireworks there in the courtroom between Brooks and the judge. We also saw that back and forth between the two. And the fact that the judge said that she was scared, what does that mean?
Well, I think she did mean it literally. She was not comfortable with what was going on. She's in a secure courtroom. There are deputies there to protect her and the other participants. But I think she was being honest. I've practiced law in front of Judge Dorow on many occasions. I knew her before that as both a prosecutor and a defense attorney. And she's a frank person who's not afraid to speak her mind and be upfront with people. And I think she was doing that there.
Okay, and we've heard Brooks ask the judge multiple times if she's holding him in contempt of court. She said no. What would be the significance if the judge were to do that?
Well, she could jail him until there's a remedial sanction where he could earn his way back into the court. I really don't think she wants to go there. I think she has decided that what she's going to do when he becomes disruptive is remove him to the other courtroom. And so that's been her remedy so far, and I think she'll stick with that. I don't think fining him or jailing him is going to accomplish what she needs to do now, and she knows it, is to get through this case and get the case to the jury.
Okay, and we want to focus right now on the testimony and Brooks' witnesses that he called to the stand. What can you say about the strategy that he's using?
Well, one thing that I think overall, when I see his mood today presented with the tearful opening statement, is that there's an inconsistency there. As an advocate, when I'm trying to tell my client's story, I want there to be consistency in theme, emotion, and fact. And there isn't in this disjointed display. I don't think the jury is going to believe that his sorrow yesterday was genuine or that it's diminished by today's antics. Also, I think the witnesses that he's calling, you know, he's dealing with things that lawyers deal with, which is I'm not getting the information that I want. I'm not able to get my exhibits in. I don't know how to impeach them when I hear things inconsistent with what I think they're going to say. And that's all a good reason to have a trained attorney represent you.
All right, Craig Mastantuono, thank you so much for your time.